I'm Chris Bright, and I'm a foodie. Today I want to talk to you about something that everybody seems to have problems with. Artichokes. And I don't know what the problem is. I mean, these things are really easy to cook, they're delicious, and they're fun to eat. So I'm going to show you how to make stuffed artichokes, the Italian. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to take the tops of these off. And I don't take too much of the leaves off because they're delicious and they're fun. But these have pretty big thorns on them. So I just cut them off with a pair of kitchen shears. And manicure them like so. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to cut the stems off of these. And you're going to take the stem and put it in the water, and then you're going to take the artichoke and put it upside down into the water. Don't throw the stems away, they're really good to eat, trust me. They're also really hard to cut sometimes, like that one. Anyway, get your artichokes into the water, put it on high, and you want to parboil these for about 30 minutes. Let's show you how to make the stuffing. And the stuffing is pretty easy. I use two different kinds of breadcrumbs. I've got the Italian style, typical Progresso or whatever brand you want to use. And I also use panko because panko gives more body to the stuffing. Otherwise it just kind of doesn't really have the great texture. Then we're going to use some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Now, that stuff that looks like, I don't know, sawdust, I don't know what that is, but do not use that. That's terrible. You got to see Parmigiano Reggiano right here on the edge of your cheese, okay? Otherwise, don't buy it. You're buying garbage. It's actually got cellulose. You know what that is? That's wood. Why would you want wood in your cheese? Okay, so you're going to freshly grate this, okay? Then we're going to put some garlic in, and if you're like me and you're Italian, you're going to want to use like a whole head because, hey, you're Italian. You love garlic, okay? I love it. And also we're going to use some flat leaf Italian parsley, which we're going to chop up and throw in there. And then to bind out the whole thing, extra virgin olive oil. Get some good stuff. This is good stuff here. This is California olive oil. I also like the Sicilian. Don't buy blends or anything like that. That's all crap. Use the good stuff. So I've grated using the small holes on the grater right here. Parmesan cheese. You want about, I don't know, a cup or so. You want enough to really stuff those artichokes. Believe me, this is like the best part. So don't cheap yourself out, okay? You could always add a little more later if you decide that you need more. Now, we want to use, I always go by eye. You want to use a cup or so, maybe a cup and a half of breadcrumbs. So I'm going to take about 3/4 of a cup of the Italian stuff. And then I'm going to add about the same in the panko. And if you notice, look at the difference here. Look at the pankos. See, they're nice, lot larger pieces. There you go. That should be good enough. Now the garlic. A lot of Italians think that this is sacrilege, but I have a garlic press and I love it. This thing can do a whole head of garlic in about 5 seconds. Well, maybe 10. And the reason I like it to go through the press is because you really don't want big hunks of garlic in this. So what you do want is you want the garlic flavor, and this is going to definitely give it to you, and it's not going to be overpowering, so don't worry about it. If you don't like heavy duty garlic flavor, just use less. Just use like 3 or 4 cloves. Make sure you got nice big ones like that. Okay, and I'm using a whole head. Hey, it's not illegal. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some flat leaf parsley right after I finish this garlic here. I'm almost done. Okay. And that's it. Garlic off of there. Okay. Now it's time for flat leaf parsley, and what I like to do, this has been washed by my lovely sous chef, and now what I like to do is use kitchen shears Why? Because it's easy. Why make your life hard? And besides that, you can kind of get a better cut where, you know, you don't have like, look at how much I can get at once. Alright, that ought to be enough, see? Now, to bind, we're going to use a little extra virgin olive oil. And start off with just a little bit. You can always add more later, and you probably will be adding more later because you're going to put it on top of the artichokes after you have the stuffing all made. Okay, that's going to make, it's a little dry, so I'm going to add some more. Like I said, you can eyeball this. Now, if it comes out that, you don't think you have enough stuffing, you can add a little more cheese, you can add a little more panko, you can add a little more Italian breadcrumbs, whatever you like. I'm going to add a little more panko. Because, like I said, I like a lot of stuffing on these things. And just a little bit more olive oil. And one other thing I want to do, I want to use some fresh ground pepper. I want to just put a little bit in there. Just kind of give it a little extra zing. And this is about how your stuffing should look. You should be able to clump it together. If you take a spoonful, it should clump together about like that. That's about right. Now we got to wait for the artichokes to parboil, and then we're going to let them cool down, and then we're going to stuff them, and then we're going to bake them. So while the artichokes was cooling down, I poured myself a glass of wine. Always good to have a little vino while you're making these. Anyway, let's come take a look here. We got parboiled artichokes. We want to spread out the leaves here a bit. Get them both in there, and also put the stems in the bottom. Kind of helps them stay upright too. Okay, and now we want to take the stuffing mixture, and we're going to stuff these. It's okay if it gets everywhere. Like I said, I like a lot of stuffing on these. And that's about it. I used up all that stuffing mixture. My little hands are rinsed. Now, we do want to take whatever water we have left over from parboiling and put it at the bottom of the baking pan. I'm using a loaf pan here. That's fine. That kind of fits them pretty perfectly. I added a little more water because there really wasn't that much left from the parboiling. Okay. Now we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees. And we're going to check it after about a half an hour. If you want, if you're a little freaked out about all this and you want to check them after 15 minutes and you notice maybe they're getting a little bit too crispy, you can just cover them with aluminum foil. I don't usually find that to be necessary since we got water in the bottom of the pan. But after a half an hour, we'll have a look, and if it needs another 15 minutes to get them nice and crispy, then we'll let them sit there for another 15 minutes. Looks like it's ready, so I'm going to take it out of the oven. Yep. And you want a nice toasty crust like that. That's my dog Brian. I'm going to plate it. And there you have it. Stuffed artichokes, Italian style. Some of you might wonder, well, how do you eat these things? Well, the stem, probably take a knife and fork. And sometimes the edge of the stem is a little bit tough, so you might want to just try to open it in two and eat it like that. Always have something to catch the leaves. Then you start pulling the leaves out, and boy, is that good. Try making this at your house. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Mangia!